Has America changed so much lately that it's not the land of opportunity any longer? Are immigrants treated unfairly and with bias? Have Americans become poor? Is life so difficult now that most people are struggling? I don't know the answers, but that's what I'm told by many Americans on this channel and in real life. Frankly, I don't know what to think about the situation in the USA. I'm confused. Judging by the news and listening to the new state officials, I have this picture that the country where I spent 9 years of my life, the country that I love, the country that always was the beacon of light for me personally, is facing big challenges and tests. It appears to be that Americans are at a crossroad facing a very difficult test. Well, let Americans choose the road and decide their own fate and decide the direction for the country. It's their country, that's their responsibility. I have faith in American people. And what I want to talk about today is not difficulties, is not tests, not challenges, not criticism, God forbid. Instead, my experiences and memories of the USA. I want to share my personal story and the reason why I fell in love with the USA. I give you 5 reasons why I am grateful to America. Howdy, howdy, everyone. My name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. On this channel, you will not find any propaganda, BS or lies. Instead, you will find truth, common sense, logic, emotions, because I am a human being after all, and some personal stories and my personal experiences. And this is one of these days, one of these live streams. This story is inspired by another YouTuber named Peter Santanello. His video he filmed called Solo Through Florida's Forgotten Coast. I was feeling down after finishing one of my recent live streams, filled with bad news. The war continues with no peace inside, the bloodshed continues, the world seems to go crazy. So I was sitting there trying to unwind, feeling sad, and YouTube suggested Peter's video. Peter explores America, and his videos seem genuine. My wife is actually a big fan of Peter's work. He shows real America, the way the country is, and Natasha likes to watch it. Anyway, the video I was suggested was about Florida's so-called Forgotten Coast, in the middle of the Panhandle from Port St. Joe to Wakulla Beach. Old Florida, undeveloped, where life is simple and slow, where people are friendly to strangers, immigrants are welcomed. There was one guy from Canada who moved to the Forgotten Coast a few years ago, and he was telling on camera how welcome the locals made him feel. Peter went around and talked to the locals, real Americans. The video felt so warm, and it brought back a wave of memories. From 1996 to 2004, I lived in southern Maine. At first in the city of Portland, and later in the small towns of Old Orchard Beach and Biddeford. And watching of Florida's Forgotten Coast reminded me southern Maine so much, at least what and how I remember Maine in the late 90s and early 2000s. I literally dissolved in my memories. And in those memories, there wasn't one bad or unpleasant thing. And everything was just great. And all of a sudden, I felt incredibly grateful to have experienced living in America, meeting wonderful people, making life-lasting friends and relationships, learning about life and building a career there. I became adult in America because I came there as a child. And what a striking difference from what I hear about America lately. So I share why I am grateful to the USA for such wonderful years. I don't know what it is now. I don't know how it has changed. I just know how it was because I remember, I witnessed, I know. So let's go. Number one, I am grateful for tolerance, individualism, and respect. I was born in the USSR and grew up in Russia. In my country, the society had a certain level of behavior for every citizen. In order to become a part of the society, one had to behave a certain way and to live a certain way. We were one, we were a group, and one was part of the group. The group was important, one was less important. The group could be anything, could be a family, a street gang, an organization, a party, but it was never about a person. It was always about the group. Instead, it was about being a member of the group, not the one, not individual. In Russia, it's called частица общества. You're just tiny speck of the society. Becoming a part of the group, one lost a great deal of personality in the process. You become a part of the group and this conditions you. The group conditions you, the process conditions you. It melts you into something you originally were not. And if one remains to be outside of the society, wouldn't belong to any group, would remain an individuality. And people like that existed, and they still exist in Russia, although there aren't too many of them, because it's culturally less acceptable. Such people were considered outsiders and losers. They were ridiculed. They were trolled. They were neither tolerated nor respected. The society would label them with something like, he is weak. He couldn't find his place in life. Loser. Weakling. So in Russia and later, before in the USSR, it was about belonging to the group. Group empowered you. But then you became part of the group and you would lose your individuality. When I first came to America, I saw individuals, not groups, and I was amazed. All Americans were different, and everyone chose his or her own path. Everyone was tolerated by default and respected not for belonging to a group or a society, but rather for personal qualities, rather for who that person was, rather for hard work and success, for good values. I felt that when I first started working in America. I was a nobody, complete nobody, but I worked hard and generally got along with people, and I was good at my job, getting my boss good results, and I earned my respect quickly for getting the results, getting the job done. Everyone was fine with who I was, an immigrant without history, fresh off the boat, And they didn't judge me for that. They judged only for what I did and how I did it. Completely opposite that from what I experienced in Russia. And that felt so good. It was intoxicating. And I was 20 years old at the time. And trust me, to learn this at 20, when you didn't have it for the first 20 years of your life, is intoxicating. It gave me feeling of my life could become anything I wanted to be. I could make my life anything I wanted to make. And I'm so grateful for that because it is such a unique feeling. Just give me a second here before I jump to number 2. I would like to make sure that the sound is okay and the picture is okay. Okay, looks good. Turn to menu. Okie dokie. So, shall we continue? Number 2. I am grateful for equal opportunities. Oh, where do I even start? In my country, Russia, there is a system of blood, T at the end, not blood, blood. In America, it's called nepotism. It's a bit different, but idea is the same. In Russia, this system has permeated inside the country, from top to bottom. Basically, if you know someone, if you're connected, if you're part of a powerful family or a group, you get a head start over others. The more powerful and influential your family, your group, your organization, the easier it is for you to succeed and faster to succeed because your group provides help. It's a resource. And at the same time, the group requires you to help others, other parts of members of your group, in case you need help. For example, if you are fresh out of college, getting a job, you'll get much better job and be advancing much faster if someone powerful makes a telephone call to a boss of your organization. For example, you're a young doctor, someone would call the head of the hospital and put a good word for you, okay? Or, for example, you want to open a business and you need a license from a local government. Of course, you can stand in line for a long time, like everyone else does. But if you know someone, one telephone call, and you get the license instantly or permission or whatever you need, and you get ahead of everyone and you get the best spot, for instance. In America, I was absolutely amazed then that in general, everyone had equal opportunities. And I'm saying in general because, of course, there is nepotism. It does exist. Americans are also humans. But it exists not on a large scale like in Russia. Instead, you are judged by your skills. You are promoted by your skills. You're valued by your skills, by your hard work. Everything is up to you. Your success, your well-being is literally in your own hands. If you succeed, it is you. If you fail, you have no one to blame. It's you. Let me tell you my story instead of explaining further. Now, I'll try to make it very, very short. I got my first job in the spring of 1997 in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. I was sweeping a parking lot of a small hotel that was right on the beach. The wind was blowing the sand onto the parking lot. There was lots of sand, and I kept on sweeping it. I was happy because I was making fabulous money for Russia. I was making $6 an hour, minimum wage at the time, and life was good. Um, and then I was given an opportunity to show myself, to prove myself. And it turned out to be the biggest opportunity of my life because my career, my connections, they all started from that moment. I was placed as a substitute for a desk clerk who got sick in that small hotel for a few days. And while I was at the desk, I outworked everyone. I sold um, a large number of rooms, and it was a spike in sales. I still don't know how I did it. Perhaps it was luck. Perhaps it was God watching over me. Perhaps I really wanted to sell. It's still a mystery. But anyway, after the clerk I was substituting for got better, came back, the owner didn't let me go back to sweeping the parking lot. Instead, he kept me at the desk and he started studying how I was selling. And he started pushing me, promoting me, because I kept on selling and selling and selling. So at first, he made me a desk clerk. Then he made me a shift manager. And the next job and the next opportunity came when the owners of the hotel bought another small hotel nearby. And he sent me to supervise and to teach current management of how to run a hotel. I was still 21 at the time, and I came and I was teaching an American adult, a 40 plus something year old, 40 something plus year old man, of how to do the job. And that was then I felt I could do anything with my life. I felt sky was the limit. And that's an incredible feeling. When you have that feeling, you get elevated, literally. You turn on turbo mode, and sky truly becomes your limit. And I experienced that. But that's not the most interesting part, okay? The most interesting one is when I returned to Russia to renew my visa in September. And everyone, of course, was happy to see me, and everyone was genuinely interested in my story, and everyone wanted me to tell about America, tell about my life, tell about my job. I came with a couple $1,000s. In 97, in Russia, that was riches, okay? And everyone wanted to know how I made so much money. My family, my friends, my students from the university, And I told them sincerely and honestly everything that happened to me. But no one believed me. They couldn't, in their picture of the world, a young immigrant coming to a country without language, without connections, not being part of any group, simply could not make it. And people did not believe me. The only ones believed were my parents, because they believed in me, they knew me. Everyone else, they believed everything else. But they didn't believe that I advanced on my own, that I was promoted based just on my abilities, my skills, my hard work and my results that I showed. They simply did not believe it. In Russia, it wasn't like that, and it still isn't. And boy, what a feeling when you know that anything is up to you. You can reach anything you want, any goal. And I am so grateful for experiencing that feeling in America, that everyone is equal regardless where they're coming from, which family they are born at. That's an insanely empowering feeling. And that's a very unique feeling at the same time. And Americans are lucky that you have it. Before I jump to number 3, freedom, I want to take this opportunity to thank you, everyone who is a part of Inside Russia community, everyone who is watching right now. everyone who keeps on coming back to watch my videos, who engages, likes live streams and videos, leaves comments, asks questions in live stream chat. Thank you so very much. This community, and I dedicated you number 5, is really a lifesaver for me. This is the best thing that happened on YouTube, the Inside Russia community. Thank you for your support. Thank you for buying me coffees, buymecoffee.com. Thank you for support at Patreon and PayPal. I give you a promise, monetized or demonetized. I'm currently demonetized, have been for 7 months for my stand against Russian government. Google doesn't like that. So I promise, monetized, demonetized, doesn't matter. I will continue doing what I've been doing. Thank you. Number 3, I am so grateful for freedom. A happy man is always a free man. Freedom comes in many forms and is appreciated the most when one can compare living free and living oppressed. I could compare. I grew up in the USSR, and we couldn't do many things. Well, in the USSR, actually, the things we could do, they weren't too many. Okay, we were not free because our society is created in a different way. Our society has 2 levels, the people and the state. And the state is above people, and the state rules lives. It was in the USSR. In Russia, we were free for about 10 years, but then everything kind of came back to the USSR. And you have a feeling that not much is up to you. And then we are seeing this feeling in Russian people right now. When the war is going on, Russia has invaded Ukraine, and the Russian people, they don't stand up. Instead, they say, well, you know what? It's not our fault. We can't do much. What can we do? We don't have power. It's not us. It wasn't our decision. It was the state. It was them who decided to do it. We can't do anything. That is not freedom, okay? Freedom is where you are free to do everything you want. You're free to take and you take responsibility, and you run your life. I was thinking how I describe freedom. I can't. Freedom must be felt. And in the United States, people are free. Well, for the most part, of course. Everything is relative, but they're free in my books. And not too many people realize that. Because not too many people in America experienced oppression, experienced living unfree. And I hope they never will. But thing number 3 that I appreciate, I'm so grateful for America showing and teaching and giving me opportunity living with, is freedom. Number 4, I'm very grateful for seeing how self-governance works. That goes hand to hand with freedom, by the way. In the United States, for the first time in my life, I was introduced to the concept called we are the people. At age 20, I didn't know what we are the people was. In the USSR, this concept, not only they taught us, they didn't teach us that. It was very dangerous for the USSR, okay? So they, they hid it from us. I couldn't have even imagined that we are the people concept existed. When I came to the USA, I was a college student, and I took political science and other classes, and that's one of the first things that I was taught. We are the people. It was absolutely amazing. Realizing that my life is the biggest value in the society. Freedom, my personal freedom is the biggest value, and I hold most power over my life. No one runs my life. No state, no king, nor queen. It was absolutely liberating. Knowing that, not just knowing, understanding that people get up and tell their wish, and that wish is the command for the state. Was absolutely crazy to hear for the kid who grew up in the USSR. Okay. Another thing that really shocked me was federal police. In the United States, there's no federal police. In Russia, there's only federal police. And the difference is huge. And again, this is how the society is governed. In Russia, it's governed by the state. In the USA, it's self-governance. And when I tell in Russia that there's no federal police in the USA, people don't believe me. Okay. When I learned that the funding of the police is done at the local level, at the level of a city, of a town, of a village, and the policeman, the police department is headed by the chief of the police, and the chief of police answers to the mayor of a village or a town or a city or council, basically answers to people. And people can fire chief of police if they find the work unsatisfactory, and they can fire policemen, they can change policemen, and they pay the policemen. The policemen get paid by the people. That was absolutely incredible concept. I don't think that anywhere in the world, this system like that. I'm not sure about Canada and Australia. I don't know much about these two countries, but I didn't see anything else. So anywhere else. You see, when police works for those who pay the policemen, in Russia, it's the state. So the policemen protect the interests of the state. They serve the state. They protect the state. They safeguard the state, the ones who pay them. In the United States, it's the people. They serve the people. They serve not the state. They protect the people. And they can be fired or hired by people. So that was an absolutely revolutionary concept for me. That still amazes me. And the third thing that absolutely amazed me was the system of political checks and balances. Senators, I heard about U.S. senators by name when I lived in early 90s in Russia before moving to the USA, because U.S. senators are actually a big thing. They make the world news. And then I was absolutely amazed to learn that any voter in the state of Maine, for example, in any other state, let's take state of Maine, can go knock on the door of a senator and talk to a senator, through an assistant or perhaps face-to-face, and demand something from the senator. And the senator would report to a voter how that senator, what it does with the wish of a person, or actually a will of a person. It was absolutely something brand new, revolutionary concept again. In Russia, it's, the senators, they're semi-gods. You don't talk to them, you don't see them, you can't knock on their door. They're not even, technically they're elected, but in Russia, it's a very interesting system. They are elected on paper, but in reality, they're given seats by the higher authorities. Yes, there are much higher authorities than the senators. And then I was absolutely amazed that in the United States, there are rules for the politicians. Rules that people have set up. We are the people have set up rules in form of federal laws, in form of the Constitution, And no one can break these rules. And if a senator tries or is caught doing something against the rules, punishment, resignation or investigation, things like that. The president cannot be president more than 2 terms, according to the 22nd Amendment of the US Constitution. Well, in Russia, obviously, we have things differently. Vladimir Putin is his 5th official term and 6th unofficial term, okay? That goes the system of checks and balances. And we all see what happens when such system doesn't exist. So this self-governance, I think, is the best system for any society. It's when the society is built for people, by people, and it's run by people, and they decide how to run their lives. And it's something that I did not see in anywhere else, certainly not in Russia. The USSR, not even talking about that. So I am so incredibly grateful that I saw that concept of self-governance, and I lived in it for 9 years, and it was amazing. And you know what? I'm incredibly grateful for these 4 things that I have experienced them in my life that I just talked about. But the most amazing thing that is actually number 5. I am absolutely incredibly grateful for people of America. At first, I landed in Washington, D.C. when I first came to the USA, spent some time there, went to Davis, a town west of Sacramento in California. I spent a summer session program at the University of California, Davis. Then I traveled to Portland, Maine, and I went to school there in southern Maine, and I settled after. I barely spoke English at first. I had a horrendous Russian accent. I mean, I still speak with pretty thick Russian accent. Imagine how I spoke back then, 30 years ago. But everyone didn't care. Everyone was so helpful and welcoming. Welcome to America. I kept hearing it over and over again first year. I grew up in Russia, and there are foreigners there, and they were always alienated. They were shown their place. They were treated well, with respect, but Russians always drew a border. On this side, it's us. On that side, it's you. I had never heard a Russian person smiling. Well, I had never seen smiling, and I had never heard saying, "Welcome to Russia," to a foreigner. Just for the heck of it, just to make a person feel better. Welcome to Russia. No. And Americans always told me that. And the unique feeling was that I belonged. And not because, it was me, incredible or whatever. No. Because people made me feel that way. Even being a legal alien, even with very poor English, obviously being fresh off the boat, I was considered one of them. If Americans watching right now, one of you. And the feelings were always sincere coming from people. No faking, no pretending, only genuine interest in trying to make me feel welcome, trying to help me in one way or another, trying to make me feel at home. You see, it's impossible to fake this. I'm pretty good at reading people, and I know when a person is not sincere, and I did not pick that in Americans when they were welcoming me. They were always sincere. When you are 20 years old, you are away from your country. You speak second language, you barely speak it, you're struggling. You're away from your parents for the first time in your life. You are on your own in a strange country, and it gets pretty darn lonely. It gets depressing. And people that you barely know smile at you and say, "Welcome to America." People who barely know you invite you for Thanksgiving dinner to join at their house, or for Christmas to celebrate with their families. It was absolutely new to me, and it felt absolutely wonderful. After America, I traveled a great deal, and not in one country I ever experienced anything close to American hospitality and openness. Just to be fair, I've never traveled to Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. I've heard they're fairly similar to the USA, but I just can't compare. So, this is probably the best thing that happened to me in the United States. American people. The people in Maine, people in other states that I met, that I am still friends with, that I have had relationship with. I spent 9 years in Maine. You know what I like the most? I became a Mainer. I didn't sound like a Mainer. I still don't, but I was accepted. I was welcomed as one. I became a husband, a boss to some people, and an employee to others, a neighbor, and a friend to a few. Thanks to people who welcomed me. All of that, thanks to them. Watching about Florida Forgotten Coast, I recognized Maine. Same kind of vibe. Small town, good, simple, nice, hardworking people. You know, in the beginning of the video, I said that America is facing a challenge, a big test, but it's up to Americans to deal with that and find a way. And I also said that I have faith in American people. And I believe that American people have not changed in their hearts. My faith is being kept by this community, by you. You who are a part of Inside Russia. Because over the last 3 years, I had an incredible amount of encouragements, support, good wishes, prayers, the emails, the calls. So many people reached out, sent words of encouragement, sent prayers, wrote wonderful letters and comments, offered my family refuge in the United States, saying, "Hey, look, if you can make it here, please come and live with us. We have a large house, you can stay there." Some reached out to me and offered to sponsor me to move to the USA. Some, when they heard about my troubles getting denied with relative petition, some reached out to their senators and their representatives. Okay? People reached out from all over the world, not just America, from the UK, from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, but majority were from America. They made me feel, well, you made me feel the same way you were making me feel in Maine. Welcomed. Not alone. Warm. And now, you're doing the same thing. While I am a refugee, a stray dog in Uzbekistan, I still feel your love. I still, I'm sitting in front of a camera and it's a virtual thing, but the love is real. The warmth is real. Your wishes are real. You are real. And you keep in my faith. So I would like to thank you again. And I would like to finish this live stream saying that I am so, again, grateful that I met wonderful people in the United States of America. And I still have faith in you. I think that no matter problems you're facing right now in your country, you'll be able to shine again. I have faith in you. Thank you so very much. It's been my message for today. It's not about Russia. It's a little different, but this is what I had on my shoulders, in my heart, and I needed to get it out. So here it is. Thank you so much. I'm ready to turn the live stream chat on, and let me know what you think. I really would appreciate the feedback, your opinion. Thank you. Not too many people today, by the way. I think they don't like when I don't talk about Russia. The live stream chat is on. If you're not seeing it appeared, please reload your page as I just did. And give me a second here. I would like to remind you that if you're here for the first time, Inside Russia is the best community on internet because of the moderation team. Fantastic people and the best moderators there are. Lorna, Mami K, Bob S, Harry Portman, Amir Fazad, and Dirk. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for coming back. I see Lorna, Bob, and everyone else is either with us or in our hearts. Thank you, the usual suspects. Thank you. Fantastic to see everyone. And if you want your message to be seen by me much easier and faster, please put it in all caps and put Inside Russia after @ That way, your message is highlighted by a large orange box, and I notice it so much easier. And please, if I somehow do not respond to your question or your message, keep on posting. It's not because I ignore you, it's because there are so many messages usually, and some I just don't have enough time to read. So thank you. Ferrari guy, long time no see. Thanks for keeping the faith in the USA. Gets hard even here at times. Well, like I said, it gets hard everywhere. It's how we deal with the hardships and what we do, and that's basically at the core of it is who we are. So I have faith in you. Sam the Legend K, howdy. Billy Bob Joe, Larry Barth, howdy from Canada. Roy Cousins from London. Scott Nesbitt, John McLean. I hope you're in shape. Staying in shape leitmotif. Frank in Texas. Frank, how are you? It's fantastic to see you. Have you recovered? Please let us know. Robert, thank you for good words. Faith Russert. Faith Russert from Spain. Pinda the Peanut. That was a heartwarming story. Thank you. Vladimir V, good evening. Tutti Fruities from Amsterdam. I watch all the time. I'm an American expat. Glad you. Bell's palsy is better. It's kind of, yes, I'm recovered. Not 100% though, but not, a couple percent still. If I look really hard, I see a little of this disproportion. Yeah, that's the right word. Dave Strains, good to see you. Dave, thank you. Doug Hill, where's the boss shirt? This is the boss shirt. Yeah. Right here it says the boss. It's just different color. I like the color. Okay. So, and it fits me really good. I lost about 12 pounds so far. And, the shirts start fitting me better. Oxford Cat, thank you for good words. Oh, by the way, I forgot, Lorna, Bob, no political comments here, no political discussions. Okay, Americans, please stay great. Do not fight in this live stream chat. Okay, do not break my faith in you. John McLean, you actually do have Maine accent, which comes out from time to time. Well, okay. I don't know what to say. Thank you, I guess. Yeah. Vitan Garanov, Bulgaria is in the house. Sending my love to Bulgaria from Uzbekistan. What a fantastic country. Gail, howdy. Thank you so much for good words. Stefan Dooling, your story reminds me of what my parents experienced when they went to USA from Germany in '67. I was 3 months old back then. Yeah, all immigrants have quite a story of coming to the USA. I wish I had a camera back then. I would have made the best video ever, the most interesting. Ronnie, howdy. Was late because I wasn't expecting you to do a stream, and probably others thought the same because less of us. I I mean, I tried to make them every day. The schedule has become very busy. There's usually trouble every Friday because the news are so plentiful. It takes me a longer time, and quite often I run late, and I stream on Saturdays or Sundays. So, but I try to do my best. I stream every time I can. Viking, I think many Americans needed to hear your message today. USA is in trouble. So I hear, okay? And I see that too. But again, if not Americans, then who? If they fail, it's the world fails, basically. Terry Carter, good to see you, Terry. Pulaski, Virginia, as usual. If it was up to me, I would sit with you and eat shashlik and drink some tea. Yes to you. Cheers. Well, you know what? We are kind of sitting together and drinking. Well, I'm drinking tea. It's better than nothing, right? Leitmotif, there are many immigrants in my neighborhood. I always greet them on chat. I am an immigrant too. Thank you. Billy Bob Joe, thank you so much for good words. I saw a comment on being white. That just makes me laugh. Yeah, right. Yeah. Especially when you don't speak English. you're at the stage of this is like in the second year of you in the USA, and you're still at the stage of the dog. I understand everything, can't say anything, Yeah, that helps a lot. Electrics from England, howdy. Aaronka, good to see you as usual. Even Blade, Trollmaster. I forgot in which Central Asian country you live right now, but do you feel safe there criticizing Russian government? No, I do not. In this live stream, I said that I am a refugee and I feel like a stray dog in Uzbekistan. Okay? I am followed by the KGB. I have caught them on several occasions. Sometimes they openly follow me, trying to intimidate, and sometimes I catch them. They do it covertly. And God knows how many times they followed me and I didn't catch them. Okay? So I do not feel safe at all. Answering your question. Lilith Eden, thank you so much for coming. Tara, I'm sorry, I'm pretty bad with names. Tara Raina, thank you so much. Thank you for good words. We'll shine again. Keep the faith. I'm keeping the faith. Barnabas Wannabe, howdy, thank you so much. Uwe Loss, restart, and here we are. Good Nabend, Uwe. Thank you for joining us. Ronnie, I'm sure you will get to the US eventually. Just gonna take time. Time is something I might not have. So let's put it this way. I don't know. I don't get my hopes high any longer. If they denied me on the basis of not being father to Sky, well, being father but not having a relationship. A lot of people actually sent me letters saying, Konstantin, why don't you do a parental DNA test? That's not how it works. They're looking for, even as a test, they're looking for a continuous relationship. Okay, I have like 600 pages worth of evidence of continuous relationship. It's bulletproof over bulletproof evidence, and they still denied me. And now I just don't expect much. I don't get my hopes high. Perhaps God doesn't want me there. I don't know. Kev Sullivan, thanks for making me feel good about being American who tries to follow the gospel in daily life. Thank you, Kev. Pinda, good message. Thank you. Chris Clark, howdy. Maggie Schmidt. Doug Hill from Los Angeles. Howdy. Kermo. Been many times in Soviet Union and Russia. First in 1970. Richelieu from Philadelphia, US. Howdy, howdy. Roman, hello. George Ruberty, howdy, friend. I'm fixing up apartment upstairs in my house in Massachusetts. When you get here. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. You see, this is, hearing that makes me feel so much better. Makes me feel loved and makes me feel warm. It's really hard to explain this feeling that I get when I read comment like this or message like this. Thank you. I'm very touched. Thank you so much. Miguel Fernandez. Solzhenitsyn came to Spain in the early 70s while Franco was still in power. He was surprised he had freedom of travel, could meet anyone, and could make photocopies without any special permission. No kidding. Tell me about it. Guy, good to see you. Howdy. Dale, I'm over 80 years old and have seen changes in the USA politically, but at its core, the people have not changed that much. Politics swings like a pendulum here. It will change again. Dale, like I said, I have faith in you. Based on what I saw when I lived in the USA, you're pretty darn strong people with good values, and it's really hard to break you apart. Pamela, thank you from Pennsylvania. We're fighting for freedom. Please pray for us. We pray for you. Thank you so much. I will pray for the USA today too. Jay Ferry, how do you not get in trouble talking about Russia? Like I said, I am in trouble. I'm on the radar. I am being followed. My clock is ticking. John McLean, lots of salad in my life. Hey, John, lots of salad in my life as well. I am on zero carb diet. I've lost 12 pounds so far, and it's tough. First few weeks are very tough, but I'm pulling it off so far. Frank, I'm doing well except for the diabetes. Well, good to know. Diabetes is a pretty serious disease. I hope you have it under control, because it can be under control, can be all right, Lorna, you know what? I don't really understand how the people start like mixing in race. I lived in Maine and I traveled in California. I didn't see any prejudice against like black people or white people. Everyone got along just fine. I worked with people of different religion, different skin color, and I never even thought of them being different. Or so, yeah. I just don't understand when people try to mix it in. Okay, I worked with gays, lesbians. What's the big deal? I had friends who were gay. I don't care. I didn't care. I don't care now. As long as they don't push it onto me, I'm fine. And no one did, by the way. And then we were fine with them. Or just, I just don't get it when people start differentiate. Oh, something about race. I didn't see one case of discrimination in Maine. Maybe you live in a different America, okay? Macarena Ferreira, hola. Koshkin Dome here in Scandinavia, we're a very different society, both from the USA and Russia, but we also feel free and valued from what we are. I have no questions about that. I know that the Scandinavian countries are unique, great, free, and different. Okay, and I respect you for that. I admire in some ways. Zero G. Um, do you remember any restaurants that you liked to eat at? If you're talking about Maine, of course I remember. 20 years ago, but I remember if it was yesterday. DeMillo's in Portland. That's where we had our wedding. A very special place for me. It's Old Port in Portland at the marina. Then there's one of the top 3 Japanese restaurants I ate in my entire life, and I've traveled a lot. It's also right next to DeMillo's. It's called Sapporo. It's a small family-owned restaurant. Fantastic sushi. Just one of the best. Probably the best one, I was in Dubai in a restaurant called Nobu. Fantastic Japanese cuisine. And then I was in Thailand in Bangkok. It was a very, not fancy, but that small, they're like family owned small restaurants owned by Japanese family. I was recommended, and it was just fantastic. So that Sapporo is probably number 3. Then, of course, there's tons of restaurants that in main mall that I like to eat. Buffet called the Great Wall. I gained so much weight eating there. Great Chinese food. Happy Dragon in Sako. Also Chinese place. Mexican place, I forgot, in main mall. Mexican restaurant. Very good food. Steakhouses, you name it. In Portland, I also remember the Armory, then Scarborough, Proud Snack, the Black Point Inn, fantastic restaurant. So, just I'm not sure how familiar you're with Southern Maine. Kev Sullivan, being Irish, I love green shirts too. Okay, good, good. Larry Barth, I don't remember Point of View Hotel. Um, I think it's a new one that was renamed or opened after I left. But I think I saw on CNN or on one of the or Fox News or whatever, one of the big media channels, there was a report coming from Old Orchard Beach. Oh yeah, I saw that. And the guy is spot on. I called Old Orchard Beach. My friends telling me that they're expecting very lousy season. If the Canadians don't come, that's going to be not disaster, but that's business will be down a great deal. A lot of people from Massachusetts used to come from down south, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. But then Canadians were a huge market, and it's still a huge market for Old Orchard Beach. So we'll see how things are going. I'll keep you informed of how things are really out there. I'll be in touch with a couple hotel owners I know. Kermo also worked in the USA companies and visited the country many times. I feel you remember in the world and countries that do not. I have hard time reading Kermo. Sorry. Terry, you lost 12 pounds. I gained about that much. Something weird there. Well, I'm sorry about that. I certainly did not send my pounds to you, that's for sure. Colleen from Mississippi, USA. Howdy. Oxford Cat. Happy Earth Day, everyone. Well, happy Earth Day. Every day is Happy Earth Day. Ethan, America needs more good hearted, genuine, loving individuals like you. Well, unfortunately, America rejected me, and I'm not going there. We love you and look forward to your return. How can I return if your government says, you know what, fudge off, basically, So, but you know what? No hard feelings. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what happened. Pinda, 1996. They were the golden years. Well, questionable. I think right now for me the golden years. Although I'm going through incredible hardship, but I'm with my family and I have understood so much more than I understood before. I learned about life. I learned through this hardship, through this experience. And I think this is the golden year. Last year was the golden year. 2022 was golden year with a tinted black, but it was still a golden year. Sam, please go easy on caffeine. Well, I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking tea. Caffeine and tea is different. It's much softer. It's not like coffee. Coffee knocks you right out. Tea is very mild on your body. Vet, greetings. Watched you for a long time. Enjoy the channel a lot. Thank you so much. Vet from Florida. Howdy and thank you. Shareleaf. The temptation for bashing is not real in normal people. Agreed. What, is anyone bashing? Shareleaf, Constantine, why do FSB agents follow you if the intimidation clearly isn't working? Why don't they do something like hurt you? Why are they just following you? What purpose does that serve? Well, I think they're gathering information because I am the organizer of Uzbekistan's largest refugee community. Okay, I think I'm on their radar because of that and because of obviously my YouTube. Um, that's a strange question. I don't know if I wish I knew what they're gonna do, and why they haven't hurt me. Well, I tell you that the intimidation, they scared me. It's not like it didn't work. Trust me, it was probably the scariest moment of my life when the guy was openly following us and taking pictures of us and trying to take picture of a taxi cab that came, and they intimidated me. That's for sure. I keep on doing what I'm doing, but trust me, you think it's easy to take? No, no. I nearly soiled my pants. That's how scared I was. Pinda, I have learned that you can get more progress done if you use honey instead of vinegar bashing. Okay. I think I understood. Guy, that's one thing I don't understand. We have all types of races all working together for the same goal, and color of nationality doesn't come into it. Yeah, I don't understand that either. I've never seen. Perhaps I'm strange, odd, weird, whatever. You can call me whatever. But I've never seen people treated, you know, what's this word? People mistreated due to their religion, race, or sexual stand. Uh, Discriminated. There you go. I don't know. In my life, everyone has gotten along. Okay. Pinda, my best Japanese was in the Jasmine Ritz Carlton. Ritz Carlton. No, I haven't been to Ritz Carlton. And you know what? Another great Japanese place in Dubai was in Mandarin Oriental. The place is so expensive that we could only go there just to have lunch, and the lunch was very expensive, like $100 or something like that. But their rooms cost, like $2,000 a night, and they were running the special with the discount. I suddenly felt odd, out of place there because everyone was rich, and me and two of my friends, we had a reunion in Dubai last fall, and then we came just for lunch. Lunch was like top notch, okay, but boy, it felt odd. But Jasmine, Ritz Carlton, well, I, I don't stay in Ritz Carlton, that's for sure. Perhaps, well, take a note. Jill, thank you so much. Well, Ferrari guy, ChatGPT suggests it is important to emphasize an ongoing pre-age of 18 years of old relationship with your daughter. Adding Form I-31 for humanitarian parole can add extra weight. Okay. Ongoing pre-age of 18-year-old relationship with your daughter. Look, my attorney helped to assemble a case of evidence that starts when Sky first started her Facebook account at the age of 9, something like that, or 10. Since that, we've been in constant contact with her. Okay, that's 15 years worth of a relationship. And before, I had a relationship with her mother, like writing each other and talking to Sky through her mom's account and things like that. So my evidence is so bulletproof, okay, that attorney is absolutely in awe how they could deny me. And Form I-131 was added about a year ago. They denied me. Sky went to see Senator Angus King. He did zilch to help her, well, me, although I know him personally. So that's humanitarian parole for me. Denied, denied, denied. Terry Carter, funny story about a Chinese buffet. I used to gross out my then wife by eating cooked mussels. Cooked mussels? That's like a delicacy in Maine. Mussels. We used to eat them left and right, you know. Tom W., good to see you. Fantastic to see you. Time reminder. Thank you, Bob. Give me a couple minutes and I'll be done. Pinda, can you say New Hampshire? Of course I can. New Hampshire. Not New Hampshire. The locals say New Hampshire. Guy, Konstantin, have you heard of the latest business swapping by Kadyrov, who is going to lose all his businesses in Chechnya as we speak? The latest I heard was his post in Telegram. I follow just a couple hours ago, but it was just nothing. Something about the mayor of Grozny. He's my brother. Blah blah. I know he's in trouble. I know he is in and out of Russia mostly, in just for a little bit. I have not heard of businesses being taken away right now, but I'll look right after the end of the stream. That's interesting. I see we are working on immigration checklist. Power SV2. Trust me, I have worked. I've done my best. I've worked the best I could. Denise Abbott, it's not just Canada. The UK is also canceling trips to the USA. That's sad. Elaine Patton, you sound a lot better, less coughing, you look good too. Thank you so much. I've recovered. I had pneumonia for a couple of weeks. Not the most pleasant experience, you know. Shit relief, but that's not what happened. I'm not sure what you mean. Faith, real Americans would love to have you. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. A lot of people who send me words of support. You should have seen the emails I received. Incredible amount. So much love, so much support. Well, unfortunately, your government doesn't really want me. Kathleen, greetings from Cape Cod. I've been to OOB a few times. Beautiful country. Americans can have very different political points to view, especially this day and age. We will get through this. Thank you, Kathleen. Fantastic that to see a person who's been to Old Orchard. Like I said, I have faith in you. Charles Rames, thank you so much. Oxford Cat. Thank you. You know, Ferrari guy, persistent space with US government system. I'm afraid that there will come a point in my life when I'll say, you know what, I don't want to persuade anymore. That's it. I'm throwing in the towel, because why do I have to prove them that I have a relationship with Sky, continuous relationship with Sky, you know? And after, like, I proved everything I needed to show them, and I still have to prove again. I mean, we are appealing, but it's gonna come to a point where just it's not gonna be not worth it. Thank you, Colleen. Ethan, thank you so much. Thank you. Love is always welcomed and much needed. Thank you. Shirley, yeah, trust me, that was quite an experience. I fret just thinking about that. That's the hardest, not the hardest, the scariest. First time it was the scariest. Then once you get used to it, you kind of like expect, you understand that it's happening behind your back, you know, it's not that scary any longer. But the first time was, it was, we went to, you know, give flowers to the monument of political oppressions after Navalny's death. And they were there. They were waiting for us. There's about a dozen of us from Tashkent Breakfast Club, and holy moly. Anyway, friends, I'm doing a wrapping up. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you liked the message. It came from my heart, just how I feel, my experience, my life story. Very personal too. I hope you appreciate me sharing something very personal with you. I would like to I invite you to join me in prayer. Oh, there it is. All right. Friends, please join me in prayer. Let's do it. Ferrari guy, Chat GPT suggests, I'm sorry, before the prayer, flagged under section 212A of the INA, things they don't have to reveal without a court case, but the ruling sounds arbitrary and conspicuous. Grounds to. I'll check it out, but that's not what they, I haven't been flagged. That's not what they told us as an official answer. Okay, so I'm not sure what the section of 212A of the INA, but I'll check it out. I'll let my attorney know. All right, invite everyone to pray. Thank you. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and giving roofs over our heads. Thank you for our families, our children. Thank you for all our love that we have in our lives. Please give us wisdom to have the skies above our children's heads peaceful and safe. Give us wisdom to raise our children to be good people when they grow up. Make this world a better place. Never engage in any wars. For now, please keep our children safe and healthy. Dear Lord, I'm asking for Ukraine. Please help the country and help its people Stop the bloodshed. Help bring peace to Ukraine, much needed peace. Help all the Ukrainians who have been affected by this terrible tragedy. Answer the prayers and make their wishes come true. Dear Lord, help my country, Russia. Assemble the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords, and have Saint Michael lead this country. Send this army, send it to the earth to get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country, Russia, who we know by their names and by their faces. Please help get rid of them. Dear Lord, please send your angels to help Russian people to run their country, to make it peaceful, loving, and respecting. And touch the hearts and souls of those who are capable of making decision to bring the peace to Ukraine, so they wake up from their lethargic sleep and make that decision. Please help those who are traveling, send them safe travels. Help those who are in danger, in dire straits, and in high waters. Send them safety. Please help single mothers and fathers who are struggling raising their children, trying to make ends meet. Please help those who are helping Ukrainians, and help Ukrainians who are currently under attacks from Russian missiles and weapons. Send everyone safety. Dear Lord, I'm asking you to help all the sick, the hungry, the cold, the addicted, the homeless, the jobless, the depressed, the betrayed, the ones who are crying right now, the ones who are going through divorce, the ones who are separated from their families, the ones who are depressed and feeling not good about themselves, the ones who are losing their faith, and the ones who feel alone in their lives. Please reach out and touch the hearts of those who need help. Fill their hearts with love and warmth. Show them that you're right next to them, that you have not abandoned them. You're watching every step that they take, and you help every move they make. Please help everyone in need. Dear Lord, thank you so much for allowing us to assemble here and pray. Thank you for everyone who is praying along with me or simply watching us pray. Thank you. I want to ask you to answer everyone's prayer who is here and make everyone's wish come true. And I have a list of people who need your help. They are Ron Bazoid, Teresa, Jove, Karsten, Janice Burgess, Ross Halbert Bronicky, Janice, Lorna, please send recovery, Ann Larson, Hannah, Jeffrey S. and his family, Katharina Holm, Alex, Mark, Hank's sister, Tom W., J.R. McKim, Gabing with Gary, Lisa, Harry, Terry, John, Linda, Paula W., Dennis, Jason, Susie, Tim, Dory, Rhonda, John, Taylor, Wayne, Darla, George Ruberty, Pamela, Meta, David Porter, his family, and everyone who is in Chernovtsi, Leif, Randolph, Grace, Dean Spooner and his church, Yelena, Natasha, Michael, Jake, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Svetlana, Sergey, Liz, Ron, Liz, Koshkin Dom, Sandra, Mike and Mike, Petra Olson, Joseph, Melissa, Jodes, Millie, Philip, Eileen, Highwayman, Victor, Denise Abbott, Renata Janice Burgess, Derek Martinez, and Jeff Gibson. Dear Lord, thank you so very much. Amen. Friends, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thanks for giving me a chance. It's my honor to have you here. I hope you liked my today's message. I want to let you know tomorrow I'll be traveling. It's 1 day travel in and out of one of the cities in Tashkent, in Uzbekistan. This city is dear to me because that's where I had my business. I made 2 videos and I want you to watch them tomorrow instead of a live stream. In those videos I made a long time ago, about 5 years ago, I explained how I was living and doing business in Fergana, Uzbekistan, and in Tashkent, Uzbekistan about 15 years ago. So this is where I'm going. I'm going to film those places and you will learn more about them. I'll make a community post tomorrow if you watch them. So check them out. Thank you. I want to remind you that you are awesome and you rock. And at the end of the stream, as usual, please, as loud as you can, repeat after me. Carthago delenda est.